Hello everyone, you are in the AutoCraft Shop. You asked for meat and here it is. Today we will revive a long dead Opel. The car of 2001 release had an accident with the front right side. Its owner did not want to accept the loss of his beloved car and decided to restore it no matter what. And we will help him with this. I must say right away that this repair is completely unprofitable. The blow was very strong. The right spar turned into an accordion. The subframe was damaged. The hood was badly crushed. It went to the left side, while the doors, judging by the gaps, stand their openings correctly. Repair as always, we start from the most damaged place, in this case it is the front right spar. Such deformed spars have not been under repair for a long time. Not only is it broken in some place, but it is bent along its entire length from the rear bolt to the tow hook. He's practically exhausted. You can also see damage to the subframe. We set the slipway tower so that the hood moves forward and to the right side, as if in the direction of impact. By rearranging the clamp, we gradually pull out the damaged elements of the engine compartment, trying to return the surviving parts to their original position. It was decided to keep the right shock absorber support. It is also called a cup. So we will only fix the left cup with the fender guide and with the spar by separating the front panel. At the edges of the mudguard the metal is thin, so it is not possible to pull it out the first time. Bent metal comes off. We cut it, fix it and pull it again. Also with spar, having pulled out the rear part of the spar, which goes under the body, we cut off the front deformed part as unnecessary. We pass to the left side and pulling the remains of the front panel to the right, put the fender guide, cup and spar in the correct position. We got such a donor. Considering the year of manufacture of the car and it is still Opel, the condition of the donor is very decent. It is not rusty, slightly splattered with oil and at first glance not broken. Having marked, we begin to cut and drill. We remove the details that we need. We cut off the fender guide a little more so that later, when welding the donor and the body, the seams are not on the same line. From the side of the wheel, it was decided to drill a mudguard in order to weld it to the body with an overlap, just as the manufacturer does. Where it is impossible to reach the grinder, we chop the metal with a chisel. We remove the separated right cup as unnecessary and start working with the left side. Here we separate the front panel since we do not need a mudguard and spars.
Murder, what? No, you're not murder, just music.
It looks like a body prepared for welding. Places of future seams are cleaned from paint. As you can see, the spar in the place where we cut it off has no reinforcement, since the subframe is the reinforcement, and the spar only holds it. And since the factory did not install any stiffeners in the spar, respectively, we will not weld in any reinforcing elements. Also cleaned all the places of future welding on the donor. Where the metal will be welded with an overlap, we prime it with a special zinc welding primer. This is how it looks. If you are interested, you can read about it on the internet. The primer is applied in 2 layers and it is primarily for contact welding. But the manufacturer guarantees that after welding the parts, even with semi-automatic welding, the primer must remain inside the weld. We dock the donor to the body. Fix it on a new subframe. Make welding points and, referring to the dimensions, put it in the correct position. Measuring the engine compartment, it became clear that the cup was shifted towards the engine compartment.
Fine, Pam? Murder, ain't it? What? No, you're not murder, just music.
we assemble the muzzle, and this is confirmed by the gaps. This is quite normal for such injuries. We will pull to the correct dimensions during welding. Again, we disassemble the muzzle, make additional welding seams, and pull the cup to the right and forward. At the same time, we constantly check the dimensions.
Of course, the violin is more my instrument, but, oh well. Here we go. Now listen to this, Joe.
Having set the shock absorber support in the correct position, we weld the fender guides from the inside. After making sure that everything is in the correct dimensions, we assemble the front part again to make sure that the gaps will all be even. After making sure that everything is done correctly, we remove the fenders, headlights, bumper, and begin to weld. We weld the mudguard with a continuous seam, as well as the spar. After that, we proceed to work with the fender guide. The inner part is already welded, so we apply the outer lining and weld it. Let's move on to welding the spar. From the bottom, we unscrewed the 2 bolts of the subframe. It went down. This gives us good access to the seam. Having unfolded the hub, we weld the joint with a continuous seam. We proceed to welding the front panel on the left side. After all the seams are welded, sanded and degreased, we apply and wash primer everywhere on the exposed metal. The wash primer is covered with an acrylic primer. According to the owner, the car will not get painted soon. We decided to cover the seams with black paint on top. This is what the car looks like after welding and processing of welding seams. This is a view from the engine compartment. And this is how the welding seam looks on the spar and on the mudguard from the side of the wheel. The owner asked not to do anything else, as he will apply an anti-corrosion compound, both on the left and on the right side. This is what the end result of our work looks like. We did the assembly of everything we could. These are fenders, bumper, headlights. The right headlight of the 4 brackets has only 2 and therefore visually it is recessed a little inward. Instead, after painting a new one will be installed. And there is no way to fix this. There is also no hood latch and bumper bracket under the right fender. Otherwise, all the gaps are even and correspond to the factory ones. Friends, I remind you that we are trying to shoot interesting videos for you, and you in turn press something under the video, write comments, and do not forget to subscribe. We are starting the repair of the next car. See you soon.